And good evening once again. Day 1342 of the Trump administration. There are 42 days remaining until the presidential election. The first presidential debate is 1 week from tonight. Trump's push to fill the Supreme Court seat once held by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg before Election Day now has the backing of a majority of his party in the Senate. Tonight, at his latest battleground state rally in Pennsylvania, Trump continued to try to build the suspense.
We're going to pick an incredible woman, brilliant woman, and watch the abuse that she will take. Whoever, the decision's going to be announced on Saturday, 5 o'clock on Saturday, at the White House. And you see, we have tremendous Republican support. Tremendous support. It's never been this unified before, ever. Thank you, Mitt. Thank you. No, he was very good. Very positive statement.
That reference there, Mitt Romney, who today signaled he's on board with holding a vote on a Trump nominee during the campaign.
Where a nominee of a president is from a different party than the Senate, then more often than not, the Senate does not confirm. On the other hand, when there's a nominee of a party that is in the same party as the Senate, then typically they do confirm. If a nominee actually reaches the floor, that I will vote based upon the qualifications of that nominee.
We're going to ask an expert about that reasoning coming up. Two federal judges, Amy Coney Barrett and Barbara Lagoa, appear to be at the top of Trump's list. Robert Costa of the Washington Post, who's standing by to join us in a moment, has new reporting out on what the thinking is inside the White House. He and his colleagues report it this way, quote, momentum appeared to grow behind Judge Amy Coney Barrett of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit. Other advisors say Lagoa, who enjoys significant support among Miami legal circles, could be the political boon in the presidential race as Trump and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden are in a tight contest for Florida. A Saturday announcement would leave less than 40 days before the election for Senate confirmation. Lindsey Graham, chairman of the Judiciary Committee, will lay out the plan for handling the nomination before the committee. He's already said he has the votes, even though we don't have a nominee. A dual question for you, Bob. Number one, remind the people watching, this is being kind of set out there by the Lindsey Grahams of the world as a slam dunk, a fait accompli, says he has the votes, we just don't have a nominee. Number one, remind people what could go wrong. And number two, talk about the calculus that Mitch McConnell is engaging in by calling this vote. If there's a vote before an election with so many Republican seats up, with the majority on the line, what's the chance of a backfire?
I'll take the second question first. They had a Senate Republican lunch today, Brian, and the senators, to be sure, were talking about this exact issue. And they know whether it's Cory Gardner in Colorado or Martha McSally in Arizona, if Republican senators lose in November, it's going to be a very difficult vote for them to come in a lame duck session and vote for a Supreme Court nominee. That's a vote many of them do not want to take. So that's why Mitch McConnell, the majority leader, is trying to rush this through. And it's been told to me by some of my top Republican sources that McConnell and his orbit have made it pretty clear to the White House they'll support whomever the president chooses, but Amy Coney Barrett likely has the support to move quickly in October. Chairman Graham knows that. To your point, though, about the implications here, this is so highly unusual to move at this rapid pace. And if you think back to Robert Bork in the late 1980s, or Clarence Thomas, or Justice Kavanaugh, all these justices or nominees in the past that people thought when the nomination happens, it would move in a certain direction. The hearings happen, everything changes, curveball after curveball. And so this is a tight window, and it's hard to say when the Republicans say they have the votes before the hearings. You should be dubious about that as a reporter, and it's just as anyone watching all of this.
Counselor, back on over to you with a matter of the law. If a new justice is indeed confirmed, sworn in, and seated, tell the good folks watching exactly how conservative this court will now be. Is there any comparison in even recent American history, starting with the fact that if the Chief Justice, John Roberts, wants to cross over and vote with the liberals, they would still get swamped by a 5-4 court.
So very conservative. So I think, the unifying theme between both of your dual crises today, Brian, coronavirus and the Supreme Court nominee is kind of, I really wish they'd rushed the coronavirus response medically, unemployment insurance and all of those things. But instead, they're rushing the Supreme Court nominee through to try and make the Supreme Court far more conservative. If this nominee is confirmed, it would mean 15 of the 19 last justices have been appointed by Republican presidents. And, this is not as if it's a conservative jurist who passed away being replaced by another conservative. This is the liberal lion, Justice Ginsburg. She was a tiny woman, but she had an enormously strong, very influential voice. So switching that seat means a change in the jurisprudence on things like the Affordable Care Act, which is going to be heard, that case, the week after the presidential election. It's going to mean reproductive justice is deeply, deeply under threat in Roe versus Wade and its progeny. And it means things like campaign finance restrictions, like just simple transparency laws that just say, tell people, did you donate to a particular party? Those may now be unconstitutional. So this is a big, big deal. It's nuclear.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.